Hello everyone, welcome to Chefs Together. Today we are going to learn how to make paneer butter masala. Yes, it is a favorite of all of us and we are going to learn how to make this with these simple ingredients. The recipe is paneer butter masala, but we'll be using cream instead of butter. Here are the dry ingredients. We'll be using 2 cloves, 1 small piece of cinnamon, and a teaspoon maybe of blackstone flour, 1 teaspoon of chili powder, 1.5 teaspoon of coriander, 1 teaspoon of jeera powder, and half a teaspoon of pepper powder. With this I have taken a pinch of red food color as well. This is optional, you can pick it or just leave it. Here I have taken 1 tablespoon of small cashew bites, small pieces. I buy this for all the dishes that I make because it is easy for us to be used in desserts and for making paste. Here we have taken 1.5 teaspoon of ginger garlic paste, along with 2 medium-sized tomatoes, 2 medium-sized capsicum chopped into small cubes, and 2 large onion chopped. Here I have taken homemade paneer, which is 300 grams, some coriander for garnishing, and 1 tablespoon or quarter cup of fresh cream. Instead of butter we will be using fresh cream, which is just the thick layer of the milk. Here to tell you about the paneer, this is homemade paneer for which the recipe has already been shared in our channel. I have made it in the previous recipe with 200, which yielded as 200 grams of paneer. Now I have taken charcoal as well. This is for smoking and flavoring this paneer butter masala. Now just to show you, we are going to chop the paneer into small cubes. Now I have taken extra 100 grams, so totally I have taken 300 grams. This is again homemade. You can check for the recipe for homemade paneer as well. This paneer was made around 10 days ago. I stored it in the fridge. Now I'm using it. I'm going to be flavoring it with charcoal, and that is the highlight of this dish. Okay, let's move on into the recipe now. And along with this, before I forget, we need 2 tablespoons of oil as well. 3 tablespoons are actually 1.5 tablespoon of oil. We will be using it now for sauteing the gravy. The rest 1.5 tablespoon we will store it for the later use. Now once the karai is hot, we will heat up the oil and we will be using the tempering ingredients, which is the cloves, the cinnamon stick, along with the blackstone flour. This actually gives a nice restaurant style flavor to our dishes. That's why in most of the dishes I use this ingredient. Then we will add in the chopped onion so that we can saute it well. It has to be really sauteed well because, as we know, the taste of our gravy is going to completely depend on how well we saute our masala, and that is the secret behind all the restaurant style recipes. So since we have decided we will bring in the restaurant style taste into our home, we will also ensure that we are sauteing it very well. We can add in a bit of salt at this point if we want to fast track the process. Then we will get back with the rest of the ingredients. Now it's been 5 minutes and the onion is sauteed very well. Now we are going to move the onion aside as we do it in the rest of the recipes, and we will be adding the ginger garlic paste. So I have taken, yes, drop it, yeah, so that's 1.5 teaspoon of ginger garlic paste, and Adit is here to help us today. He is kind of quite busy these days with his online classes going on, but today he has got some time, so he has come to help us. Thanks, Adit. Okay, so after sauteing this, we will be adding the rest of the ingredients, but before we do that, we will ensure that the raw flavor of this ginger garlic paste is completely removed and that nice aroma is elicited from this gravy mix. So to this we will be adding tomatoes. So these are 2 medium-sized tomatoes which we are going to saute it very well. Now these tomatoes again have to be sauteed very well because once all these ingredients are sauteed well, we are going to make a nice smooth paste out of this. So maybe that is going to take a minute or two, after which we will have only our dry ingredients, the powders, to be added to this gravy. So it's been 2 minutes now, and the tomatoes have sauteed well. Now we are going to add all the powders that we had taken along with the cashew bites. Now the advantage of using these bites is that we don't have to chop it, we can just measure it with a tablespoon. You can use the regular full whole cashews as well. If you are you're going to use the whole cashews, you can use 6 cashews maybe. Now we'll have to saute it really well, but in low flame, ensuring that the powders don't get charred and get stuck to the base of the kadai. Saute it really well, and after which we will be proceeding with our next step. So now this is sauteed well. Now I have removed that masala from this kadai and adding the rest of the 1.5 tablespoon of oil. The masala has been kept aside for cooling down before we add into the mixie jar to make it a paste. So let it cool for like 5 to 10 minutes, and then we will make a paste of it. Meanwhile, we can fry our paneer pieces. So I have heated the rest of the 1.5 tablespoon of oil. See, now this is homemade paneer, but it's really very soft and tasty. It's been 10 days now in the fridge, but it is really good because the shelf life is very good with homemade paneer. But maximum 2 weeks, otherwise actually you will not have anything left after 2 weeks, because it is so yummy we will be tempted to finish it off at the earliest. So here we have taken 300 grams of homemade paneer, which was made with 3 liters of milk. It depends actually on the fat content in your milk, so you can check the recipe for homemade paneer as well. Now we are going to saute this well till the edges or the corners of our paneer chunks turn slightly golden brown in color. So you don't have to really shallow fry it or deep fry it. You can just saute it a bit so that it just gets that golden tip color or the lining on the edges. Moreover, many have the habit of dropping the fried paneer that is store bought into hot water so that it becomes soft. So all those things, all those procedures will not be required. Once this is sauteed well and once this is slightly golden brown in color, we can remove it and proceed with the next step. Now our paneer is almost done. We are ready to transform them, after which we will be proceeding with the further step. This will at the max take 3 to 4 minutes max, but then after which you can shift it and we will be ready to go with the veggies. So now we have transformed our paneer. Now it's time to add the capsicum. We can add the capsicum to the same oil that is left out in the kadai, and we can reuse it. We are not going to saute it too much because we want the crunchiness of the capsicum to be retained. I have added only 2 capsicum today. You can add more if you want. Here is a paste ready for our gravy. So what we have done is, after cooling the masala ingredients, the component for 2-3 minutes, 5 minutes, we have just ground it into a fine paste, and we are going to add this paste to the capsicum that has been sauteed. So now you will be able to notice that the capsicum is still crunchy. We can add enough water so that it doesn't get stuck to the base. We can actually add little more water as well, so that our gravy is little creamy and light in texture and consistency. Now after this, actually all the ingredients are cooked. If you notice, all the masala is sauteed well already. The vegetables is sauteed and the paneer is also fried. So after this step, it is only just adding and tossing all the ingredients together and just giving it one boil maybe for 5 minutes. That's it. So we will add enough water that we need. We will allow it to bubble. Now see that the gravy is bubbling, and that is when we add our paneer. stir it well, and we will have to allow it to get cooked along with the masala maybe for 5 more minutes. So once you saute it well, or give it a nice stir, add enough water and leave it to bubble for 5 minutes. You don't have to cover it because all the ingredients are already cooked. Now this is the time to add the cream. I'll mind your fingers. Yeah, yes. Now we are going to add 1 teaspoon or 1 large pinch of kasuri methi into this cream. This is just, as I told you, the top thick layer of milk along with kasuri methi. I missed this ingredient kasuri methi in the beginning. The methi leaves, dried methi leaves, when we were listing the ingredients. You can just add it. Now we'll have to give it a nice stir and just wait for 5 minutes. It's been 5 minutes now. Now it's time to check your salt. It was little less, so I have added. Now to balance the gravy, we can add half a teaspoon or quarter teaspoon of sugar to kind of balance the ingredients, which again I missed it in the ingredients. If you can add, otherwise you can just forget it. Now I'll show you how to smoke this gravy. What we are going to do is we are going to take these 2 charcoal pieces and lit it well. It will take maybe 2 minutes for it to get that nice flame over that the edges. We are not just going to make it red hot. It's more than enough if only the edges of it is done. So now we have placed one stainless steel container in the middle of the gravy. Now we are going to just shift this charcoal. If you have noticed, it is not red hot, it is just only hot at the edges. So what we'll have to do is place it carefully. Be really very careful when you are doing this. Add a few drops of oil into this. So then once we add this oil, you will get that smoke over it, which is exactly the flavor of tandoori, and that is how we will have to smoke dishes, because we may not be able to make tandoori every time and prepare our gravy. So this is a way out. We can smoke this for getting exactly the tandoor flavor. So we'll have to cover this with a nice lid that will avoid the escape of smoke. So once that is done, we will have to remove it and we can shift it. So it's been 5 minutes. Now the flame is also gone. We can just remove this container and we will have to give it a nice swirl, because all the aroma of this tandoori flavor will be mixed well. So we'll have to just saute it well and it's ready to be served. You can garnish it with coriander leaves, and you can serve it with rotis, naan, bhaturas, the recipe for which we have already shared, or you can even serve it with pulao. It will be amazingly good. You can try it as well, because it's a very simple recipe to make, and it is all made at home. So try our paneer butter masala, in which we have not added butter, we have added cream. Try this new recipe, smoke it, and do like to share, and remember, chefs